What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media here on Draft Central, powered by Prize Picks and Game Time, getting you guys through the Patriots 2025 NFL draft class. And right on this one, we're going with Joshua Farmer, their fourth-round pick, the 137th pick. Their second fourth-round pick, because my favorite pick in this class allowed them to build up a couple fifth-round picks. They used a fifth-round pick and one of their seventh-round picks to move up to go get Joshua Farmer out of Florida State, a defensive tackle. He's 6'3", 305 pounds, age 22, and is hopefully going to help build up this interior on the defensive line alongside your Christian Barmores, your Milton Williams, and your guys down in front. So, Tayler, given first of all, the aggressiveness that they sort of showed to go up and trade up to go get Joshua Farmer, mixed with what you've seen from him, how does he help fix this defensive line that they've already added some guys in through free agency, but he was the first pick of this class along the D-line. So what do you make of it? And are you excited about his fit in Foxboro?
I'm very excited. I first really got an idea of what he could do at the Senior Bowl when we went down there in Bama. And man, he was one of the most disruptive interior players there. He really caught my eye. I wrote a little bit about him after as well. Like, he's an exciting player. He's got a good build. He doesn't excel yet as a penetrator, but the flashes are absolutely there. He can also two-gap, and we know while they do want to create disruption and get upfield, they also want to be a versatile defense that can do a little bit of everything. And also, the Patriots' interior defense really did need some long-term depth. Like, you got Milton Williams, obviously. Christian Barmore, you hope, can live out his contract and even play beyond that. But he is an unknown, and beyond him, you have Jeremiah Farms, who's a career rotational player, as much as I like him, and I think he's a good fit in the scheme. You still needed more depth, and then you got Kairos Tonga, who is a very good space-eating nose tackle, but gives you almost no pass rush upside, so he's a very replaceable player. I really like Jaquelin Roy, but he contractually is not a long-term answer at that spot either. And again, as much as I like him, and he was very productive for the Patriots, I could see them wanting to potentially upgrade. And I see that in Farmer. I think he's another disruptive player who's got some versatility, can line up at the nose, but can also be like a 3 technique where we usually see a Milton Williams type. Really, all of these defensive linemen can line up in a number of different places. And I also know that Ryan Cowden told us that Farmer already had a relationship with Clint McMillan, the defensive line coach, and that helped inform their decision, and they knew the guy. And Dane Brugler reported in The Beast that this is a guy who is an alpha and really grew into his leadership role in his last season when he was voted a captain. So he continued the trend of, them wanting these high-character guys who are really going to come in and help set the standard. Farmer said, yeah, me, Williams, and Barmore, we're going to bring like the old New England back or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Little Baker to it, obviously, but I mean, I think it's a very different case. Like, Farmer has not as much production if you would have liked in college, and that's one thing. You're going to need Terrell Williams and Clint McMillan to bring the best out in him. Now, obviously, the Patriots have very good coaching on the defensive line, so it's not crazy to think that's going to happen. And early on, I think that he's going to be a rotational player and like a situational pass rusher maybe, or really truly just rotational. Hey, you're tired, Farmer, you're going in. But one role I think he'll excel in early on where, some block processing and things like that, it feels like the mental and technical side of the game needs to catch up to him. But one thing about Williams is in his scheme, you can just try to be violent and that works. That's why he said he likes violent players.
Mm-hmm.
What he did a lot in Detroit and in Tennessee was he used a lot of what's called pick stunts. And Patriots fans know what these are because they killed the Patriots offensive line last year. And it's basically where one player, instead of just trying to hold a guy, you are literally trying to blow him up while attracting the attention of another blocker to free someone else to loop around you. I think Farmer can give you like an Adam Butler type where not only can he free up teammates, he can actually create disruption by penetrating a gap and freeing up somebody else as well. So that's where I see his early fit in just one specific role where I think he could shine early. But I think he's got the potential to grow into an every down player, or at least the kind of rotational guy who makes a significant impact, a la Milton Williams, or like a Mojo Ojimo, and just what the Eagles have where they can just run those guys through like hockey lines because they're so deep and talented.
Yeah, and I think the addition alongside sort of the unknown around Christian Barmore really helps us out as well. I think I forget who you had said, but one of the draft comps to him was actually Christian Barmore. So that's an exciting thing, especially if he can't go for whatever reason. But adding him into a defensive line rotation alongside Barmore, alongside Milton Williams, who he also shared that he met with Milton Williams for 30 minutes, when he was on his visit. I guess he showed a picture of them together as well. So you mentioned he was a captain. It continues along the lines of the character draft of the Patriots. The 4 guys on Thursday, Friday were leaders of men, some of which were captains. Obviously, we know Will Campbell and Travion Henderson, but some of the other guys as well. And then Craig Woodson, the first pick on day 3, and then leading up into Farmer as well. So they're really starting to set this foundation. I know we had these same conversations last year, but with another new regime, you kind of have to reset everything. So character drafts sound cliche, but when there's different leadership, when there's a different tone of the building, you kind of got to reset everything. And they're starting to do that. And Joshua Farmer, keep trying to say Joshua.
Jeremiah Farms and Joshua Farmer is very. I was trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
I was having trouble. Why? That's why we have Jeremiah Farmer.
Jeremiah Farmer. Okay. Jeremiah Farms, Joshua Farmer.
Yeah.
There's also Joshua Palmer on the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just we'll figure out nicknames for these guys if they're all in the room, all in the building anyway. But long story short, Joshua Farmer goes with pick 137 along the Patriots defensive line, and hopefully continuing to again help build out this roster that needs all of the help. So that's Josh Farmer. Will be here on Patriots Press Pass throughout the entirety of the draft, bringing you these quick hitters on the rest of the prospects the Patriots are bringing in. So keep it here, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Peace out, everyone. Prize Picks is the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. And all you got to do is pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. So run your game all season long on Prize Picks. And right now, you can cash in on the basketball playoffs. So do not miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court into your Prize Picks lineups, whether it's points, rebounds, assists, or anything. Make sure to just pick more or less, and you get up to 2,000 times your cash. You think LeBron James will get more than 24 points? Think Giannis will score more than 35? Cook up those hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. And all you got to do is sign up today, download the app, and use code CLNS. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS. And get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Game Time. Head over to Game Time and use code CLNS. You get $20 off your first purchase. You can see the Red Sox. They're opening up next week. Patriots back here in Gillette Stadium. Could be good this year. Stephon Diggs just signed. So fun times down here in Foxboro. And if you want to get to a game again, head over to our friends at Game Time. Use that code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.